All right, how's everyone doing? I'm Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning in to the Rich CELENZA Show. WTF are you talking about?
With Ria.
Ria's back in the house. So is our dog Duncan, who won't stop moving around. Anyways, it's Christmas Eve, 2019. Ria is playing Pokemon.
Pokemon.
As usual. What do you have to do here before we start?
I had to hatch an egg.
Actually, I caught Ria late at night battling or doing something ridiculous. She had to admit, what did you do the other day? Before we get into the subject. You said I didn't mean to.
I had to battle someone, or I don't know.
Something happened, but you got home late, or something.
Oh, yeah. I had to pull over to do a battle because it's not good to drive in Pokemon. So I pulled over, and then before I came home, just down the street.
Why did I? Okay, but something else funny. It was like late at night, and you thought maybe I thought. I don't know what it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was ridiculous. I didn't need to know this. Like, I don't know. She's constantly playing Pokemon.
Yeah, because sometimes they show up in the bedroom.
I don't even know what you're talking about. No, the Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move forward.
Okay.
So what this podcast is going to be called is Fuck Father Time. Or I'm going to call it in the description maybe F Father Time.
Correct.
Because Ria's obsessed with her looks.
No, I'm not. You are obsessed.
Anyways, the truth is Ria is always being hit up regarding how youthful she looks, how young.
It's true.
She's a snob. So I can't say the same for myself because I balded in my 30s. But I will say one thing. When I was in my 30s, people thought I was going into my 50s. Then in my 40s, people thought I was in my 30s. It kind of flipped. Now I am my age. I don't care what.
Do you think?
Who cares about me?
Well, all right.
I'm going to go more or less on this angle as far as fitness, and I think she's going to more go on what would you maybe cosmetics and creams and things.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, if you know Ria or know anything about her, she works for Sephora.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. So she oversees how many stores?
20.
So she deals with a lot of, what do you want to say? Beauty, the
of
beauty
course.
industry in general.
For sure, yeah.
So this is how she gets a lot of her attention. She also gets bothered by every person in the country regarding wanting information about Sephora or wanting something from Sephora or discounted, right?
Right.
So give me your what do you think about Father Time? Because you think you're always beating it. You think you're Benjamin Button.
I am. I'm the Filipino Benjamin Buttons.
She did find lines under her eyes the other day.
Last night, what the hell? I was smiling and I had all these crinkles under my eyes all of a sudden. Well, we both hit 50 this year.
Boo.
Boo.
She's older than me.
By 6 months.
Yeah. She's a cougar.
That is funny.
That's what her son calls her. So yeah, let's on a serious note here. Regardless if you're a man or woman, what do you think has helped you the best? I think we've done something similar to this.
Yeah, maybe.
You're Filipino for one, so let's call it for what it is. So the skin is the best.
I have good genes, but I do think my dad is extremely active. So he still plays tennis in the mornings at 77. But I think one of the biggest pieces of advice my dad gave me is that everything in moderation is okay. Right. And to never take yourself seriously. So when people do stop me or ask me what my secrets are, that's what I tell them first. Because I think that's really important. And I think it's just really the attitude that you have that age is all a mindset. So I know this is just a side note about, my looks, but and if you've watched some of our YouTube videos, so you've seen Rich and I, but recently I went into where my kids work, and as I was leaving or in the back, someone said to my son, "Your mom's hot." And, the kids cringe, and I don't see myself that way, but I do know, I still see myself as gangly and awkward, to be very honest with you. But I do know that, I don't look 50. We joke about that. But I do think it is all about, if you want to have a drink, do it in moderation. If you want to eat, and with Rich's other podcast, you can indulge, but you have to be good about working out, right? I think that, and the other thing too is you shouldn't take yourself seriously. And I love to laugh. So that's one of the things that attracted me to Rich, was that we were always laughing, and we still do. And we make
This is why you have wrinkles, though.
I know I have laugh lines, but those are good. Those are good lines. I know. But I think that's part of it also, is that, you have to really and learn to love yourself. So, I mean, those are, whatever the kind of hokey things. But I will get into more of the other stuff, because I know that's not what you wanted me to say.
No,
but
that's cute. And water?
I drink a ton of water.
I got to say.
I do, because he hates the fact that I buy a ton of Swell bottles. I love water cups. I love mugs. I love anything that holds liquid. I am particularly fond of Swell bottles. I think that they're very pretty, and they are practical.
I think what helps Ria is water.
Mm-hmm. I rest.
I was going to say she likes to definitely sleep, not only at night, 1 to 2 naps a day. And I'm not exaggerating. And they're not 10-minuters.
No.
So one can be an hour to 2 hours, no joke. But you'll only sleep at night 6 to 8 hours, right?
Correct.
Or 7 to 8.
I average about 6 to 8 hours. I think that's pretty good. But I do listen to my body, and I think that's one of the things that people do. They fight.
Yes.
They fight it, and they're like, "Oh, I'll go grab another coffee, or let me drink a Red Bull," right?
Yeah.
Or what are those little shots of things? Those 4-hour,
5. I don't know what those are. Yeah.
What are those? That's, to me, that's not healthy.
No. Caffeine blasts or whatever.
I just don't think that's healthy. I think you need to learn to listen to your body, and if you're hungry, then you need to eat. If you're thirsty, I mean, you should be hydrating constantly. If it's telling you that you're tired, then you really should slow down. And I think it's funny too, because my Apple Watch will tell me to breathe.
Right.
And I think that's really important.
You do a lot of walking.
I love to walk.
She likes to get thousands upon thousands of steps.
Right. I'll take stairs over an elevator or an escalator.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want to laugh, I go from like 15, 20,000 steps a day. And then the other day I had 85 because my legs, when I hit legs with weightlifting, I was going for the least amount of steps in a day.
That was funny. That was yesterday.
Yeah, I go, how many steps you think I got in today? She's like, 1,000, because it was like 6 o'clock at night. I said, how's 84 sound?
And then what did you ended up getting a few more, because where did we go somewhere? Oh yeah, we went driving somewhere. Oh, we went to the grocery store.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you didn't even get out.
I walked around Starbucks.
Oh, that was what it was. That's how you got your steps.
Oh.
But I do think that...
well, let's get to this now.
Okay, go ahead.
With you. So when I met Ria,
I hate the gym.
Was gangly. Very thin. I'd say you're on 98 pounds. Wouldn't you say 99?
103, 104.
You were 99 pounds or 100 pounds.
Yeah,
you were very thin.
Yeah.
Which wasn't bad. I mean, you still looked youthful.
But I look gaunt in the face, I think. I have no butt.
Yeah, you didn't look nearly as healthy as you do now. Let's call it for what it is.
Right.
Even the spot, the head, the thing.
Oh yeah, I had a bald spot on the back of my head. It's gone, right?
Yeah, and she was losing a lot of her hair. Truthfully, it was just so much more thinner.
Hair all over the bathroom floor all the time.
And then when I would go to work out, she despised it.
Hate it.
I was in San Diego. I mean, she would stand in the middle of the gym and pout. I'm like, what? I said, if you plan on hanging out and seeing me more often, you better join a gym, or I don't know when you're going to, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you actually put on mass. You put on weight, which I think looked healthier.
Correct.
Now, here's the thing, too, about Rhea, and I think we discussed this once in a previous podcast. She likes junk food. I don't mean junk food, fast food. That's right. Remember?
Right. There's a difference between junk food and fast food.
Go ahead. Give them your bullshit pitch on that so I could laugh.
So, everything in moderation. I love McDonald's. Okay, let me just put this. Those people that are always like, oh, I have to eat the chocolate. No, I don't crave any of that. Every once in a while, I feel like I need a McDonald's. Actually, I think I might have something tonight on the drive.
McDonald's,
right? Okay, McDonald's,
yes.
maybe.
Or Taco Bell. I
love Taco Bell. Arby's.
Boo.
I love Arby's. Sonic.
Portillo's.
Well, I don't know if Portillo's is really junk food, though.
No, I'm saying, right. I'm just kidding. It's fast food. Whatever. Go ahead.
Fast food. Excuse me, fast food.
Right.
We were just talking about that. KFC.
Yes.
I love KFC. I could just eat a whole tub of the mashed potatoes and the gravy. But again, you shouldn't deny yourself that. And we were watching this video about this guy that was working out for 30 days and doing Dwayne Johnson's, The Rock's workout thing.
Yes.
Right? And he was so regimented for 6 days out of the week, and then the 7th day was a cheat day.
Right.
But it was only for a 2-hour window. I think if you want to indulge yourself a little bit.
Well, you cheat every other day. It's just not big increments.
No, I don't
right?
like.
That's the thing.
I don't like eat like the junk or the fast food constantly or in large amounts.
It's large amounts, and you burn it off.
Right, but I don't do it in large amounts.
No, you don't. That's my point.
Oh, yeah.
And when you eat fast food, you burn it off because you're so active.
I am very active.
I mean, the reality is you're extremely active for a woman your age. Right.
Although I'm having back problems, but I know that's another story. So anyway, yeah. But I think everything in moderation, and it's okay to indulge in if it is a sweet tooth, or I mean, because come on, let's be real. If you're gonna go out and get your whatever Starbucks drink and that's your caffeine with all this nonsense in it, that's really a meal, and that's a lot of wasted calories in my opinion.
You don't like drinking your calories.
Yeah, even alcohol.
Correct. Right.
Yeah,
you're more or less water,
wine,
if once in a while.
Yeah, I did have one glass last night, but it's been a long time.
Right, and then your juice.
I do like juice if I crave it. I do have a soda every so often. I do not do diet sodas. I think they're bad. Mm-hmm. I would rather have a Coke or a ginger ale
or tea.
But I do drink black tea every morning with a little dollop
that's
of milk.
something. And a banana.
That is my breakfast every morning.
Right.
I used to do a boiled egg every morning. Mm-hmm. But I alternate. I'll go through spurts where I do a banana, but I always have an egg every so often.
I think your eating habits, though, when you met me, changed entirely from when I first met you. I think one was because we were going first when you were hanging out. It was mainly just all Italian food. Even the little Italies we would hang out at, Chicago.
I gained a lot of weight.
You gained a lot of weight, but what was I going to say regarding that? That's where you but you were working out. So it was quite interesting with her because she joined a gym with me and she kind of fell in love with working out at the same time. She was eating a lot of pastas. Mm-hmm. And then I was even helping friends at an Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So she went from, I don't know what she ate before as much, but I definitely think you jumped on the Italian bandwagon, including wines, and you loved it. You gained weight, but it was the weight, not when you went too far, like when we were in the Emmys. And when we were going to California sometimes, Ria got so heavy one time, she couldn't even put on her dress for the Emmys, which is hysterical. Most people would go to L.A., they wouldn't eat the whole weekend to make sure they were even thinner in photos. She gained like 5. What did you do? We were eating corned beef sandwich. I don't know.
Eating with Uncle Mike.
Well, even before that, we did not stop eating at the Grove, everywhere.
You did zip up my dress, but it was pretty dang tight.
You could see in the photos how bloated she was.
God.
It was so funny. But my point being is you worked out. So she went from 103 pounds, and now you're about 113.
111.
100, whatever. By her gaining weight. I'm just saying for some women, I think them gaining weight sometimes actually makes them look better, along with obviously heavier weight, or women that are heavier, sometimes losing weight works as well.
I think my girlfriends always say, you shouldn't be a slave to the scale. Yes. And you know that, okay, I will say this is one of the bad habits I do have. I do weigh myself every night.
Which is a loser.
And every morning.
Which is okay, I think. But at night, it ruins your night's sleep for a lot of people.
Yeah, but I just want to see.
Yeah.
But I think, again, to go back to, how I try to keep myself young is I think I've learned to just create better habits without having to change what I've done for so many years. Does that make sense? Because I think that sometimes some people, when you get older, it's hard to break these habits. And God bless those people that are able to completely turn around. And I think that sometimes those are the extreme cases, right? I really, where they're like so maybe obese or heavy, they really have to make huge lifestyle changes. I think for the average person, I think that sometimes maybe they worry that they have to go to the extreme, and you really don't.
Right.
I think you just have to learn how to infuse
Right. Well, you never
better habits.
you never truly got obese, but you never got so thin that you were unhealthy either.
No,
right?
no.
Which a lot of people, as you
Because
know,
I love to eat.
right. Well, you never were an extremist. It's not like
No.
you, like I'm saying, like you didn't get obese at one time, like a lot of people, or they
Right.
get overweight and then they have to lose all this weight,
Right.
or they were, whatever they were, and then they, instead of gaining weight, say they went to the anorexic side. Not that they have anorexia, but they lost too much weight.
Right.
Even when they didn't need to lose any. So some people have that issue as well.
Yeah, I think that you just have to learn to change certain things that you do.
Tweak
them, right?
Well, you have to evolve.
Absolutely.
And see what's working for you at this point in time in your life. Because what you, as everyone knows, you can eat a certain way at this time in your life. And as you know, as time goes on, you can't keep maybe eating that way, especially men. The average man, I think, gains a pound from like 35 to 60 a year or something. That's why most people, or most men, they have the big belly.
Big bellies.
So they'll gain, say, 20 to 30 pounds in 20, 30 years. And that's not muscle for the most part.
No, it's fat.
Right. And a lot of women are obviously getting heavy too because they don't want to change. But
I think, can I just say one thing about women getting older?
Yeah.
I think that they use their children and their busy lifestyles as an excuse to let themselves go.
Sure. Same with men.
Right. But I
everybody wants to blame someone else for the way they look.
And I think that,
take responsibility.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. That's men too. I started a family or I got married. This is why I'm having, I've got kids.
For sure.
Look at my schedule now.
Right.
Well,
you can fit it in. Believe me. I get lazy too. I've been lazy the last couple weeks getting to the gym. But I do, but if I can shift gears for, a minute, I think the other thing too with your skincare is my mom always taught me when we were younger is that wear sunglasses, number one.
Yes.
A hat, sunscreen.
And regardless what you do throughout the day.
Yeah, regardless.
Don't ever think, I don't care if you live in New York, Chicago,
I agree,
San Diego, Florida.
And there are amazing sunscreens out there that you can wear every day or that are infused in your makeup for women. Right. But those were the things.
You have to be consistent.
Correct.
Over the year and start at a young age.
Absolutely. And I did. And I think the one habit I do have is probably why I love sunglasses. And, I know Rich. But I always wear big, kind of buggish sunglasses. But I do think that number one helps with, the squinting. But it's better for your eyes. But it's just another way to cover up your face. But that was one thing I did. And, I always took care of my skin. And I always preach that to my kids now. And they use skincare, even with, everyone goes through their bouts with acne. But I do think that, I do believe, you have to have a good routine. I mean, oh my gosh, Rich uses so much of my skincare. I'm like, oh my God.
What? You're throwing me under the bus
I
over
am
here.
because, the skincare is expensive.
I ain't paying for it.
Exactly. So
I'm bald, for one.
Okay, I know we talk about this, that you have more skin and you're bigger than me.
Correct.
I get that.
So if you're...
But sometimes more is not better.
I don't care. More is always better in life.
Not when you... I said
I don't want to hear bullshit.
Okay, whatever. Okay, we argue about this all the time. But you got to infuse good skincare, good routines, and take care of yourself. And go and get a massage.
Yes, you get a massage. You try to get you do chiropractor?
Yeah, but I stopped the chiropractor.
All right. Well, you do.
I did chiropractor.
She joined up, so she's getting massages.
I get
plus
massages.
I massage her. Plus I massage you a lot.
You do. I get my hair done.
Okay.
You should treat yourself. Take care of yourself.
Obviously, you're not neglecting yourself. We get it.
Get your feet.
Right. Take care of your feet.
I will say this. I hated getting pedicures years ago. I would get one a year only because my mom would go with me. But now I go regularly. It's something, it's another way to slow down. And I do think that that's part of it too, is that as we get older, I mean, even younger people, we feel like we have to go. Right?
Right.
And it's okay to just sit and stop. And it is very difficult. It's very difficult for me to just kind of sit.
Well, you like doing, and here's another thing she loves to do, sauna, right?
I do love the sauna.
Right. So you're the consistent
Purge your
sauna with
skin.
that.
Yeah.
For your skin, your breathing, all those type of things. So when you do work out, it's not like you only do that once a week.
Right.
Every time you work out, you
And
do
I
that.
do deep breathing exercises throughout the day. Because, sometimes
Do you meditate?
I do.
Okay.
I do, because I have to slow down my mental.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important, and I also love brain teaser kind of things. I love game shows. I think anything
Keeping your brain sharp.
that sharpens your brain.
You're amazing at Jeopardy.
I love Jeopardy.
You're like White Man Can't
know.
Jump.
I know, but I want to do Wheel of
Lopez?
Fortune with my dad.
Okay, we got that out in the open.
I've already said that before.
Right. Do you think, not that you have to talk about your sex life, you think sex contributes to being youthful at all, or releasing, all those type of things?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I think that healthy sexual activity
Okay.
is good for you.
Okay, of course.
It's because
Especially as you get older and you don't neglect that, is what
Right,
you're kind
yeah.
of saying,
I mean,
right?
what
It's
is-
not
what
like
is once a
like
month?
like a lot of people.
what were we reading a long time ago? The average that married couples have sex is what? Not even once a week.
I think it was
3 times a month.
3 to 4 a month or something.
Yeah, but
something.
I think it was a 3.4. It was like some weird.
Well, you get sick of each other.
But again,
The truth is,
the
truth hurts everybody.
I suppose,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to go down.
We're not going to go to. Okay, so
so-
I did another podcast, but it was independent.
You did? On what? Did I listen?
It was
to
on being vain. I was telling you this yesterday.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I did a podcast regarding a lot of us were programmed and we're told being vain, I don't know if it's from the Bible or whatever the case may be, is bad. And in reality, I think it's actually very good as long as it doesn't become an obsession, or obviously where you start getting so obsessed with yourself where you actually take something that was healthy and then make it unhealthy. That could even be working out. That could be getting Botox, plastic surgery, all these things, right?
Right.
And you had some interesting perspective on that regarding being vain, because I think what happened when Ria was younger, she was called the ugly duck, legit, right?
Oh, I was horribly ugly. Yeah, even my dad always says that. I was not very attractive. Skinny, gangly, buck teeth, bad eyeglasses. My hair was horrible. I always wanted the Farrah Fawcett feathered hair, and it never worked for me.
Well, I also think back in the aging of 70s and 80s, nothing against Filipino or just Asian, you know what I mean? That was, back then when we grew up, it was more like blonde hair, blue eyes.
Right.
That whole image. If you watch television, they were kind of making fun of Asians a lot of times, except maybe with the exception of Bruce Lee, but a lot of times they were kind of like either the nerd, right? Or the girl, the nerd, whatever.
Right.
Now as time has gone on, you look at a lot of Asians, they are kind of extremely beautiful, looked upon differently. That goes for Hispanics and obviously Black, everybody. It's changed. It's evolved.
Right.
But back to being vain, do you think, so you felt insecure and ugly throughout most of your life, especially you said throughout junior high and high school and even when you got to college. Mm-hmm. What was the turning point where you think, too, you started to build enough confidence and kind of shift that?
I think when I figured out what my style was and what I was comfortable, instead of really chasing trends,
Right.
I think it was more becoming more comfortable with who I am and what I'm about, and knowing what looked good on me instead of trying to fight things.
Did that start when you joined a sorority? Because you basically had to be the only Well, she went to Portland. She's a duck.
Right.
So when you go to Portland,
Oregon.
like I was just there, Oregon.
Eugene,
I'm sorry, Eugene. There's not many, still to this day, there's not that many Asians that I'm seeing
In
there.
Seattle, yeah, more so.
Oh, yeah. Seattle,
yeah.
San Fran. But in Portland in general that I saw at the university.
There were three of us.
Okay.
Hawaiian, Asian. And then this is so funny, what we called little sisters in the sorority, she's actually Filipino. Shout out to Pauline. So yeah, I know what we laugh about that. But I do think, yeah, my freshman, when I started to do the sorority thing, it was kind of nice to feel like people wanted you. Mm-hmm. That was the thing. That was pretty cool. And, starting to explore the dating scene or, more guys being attracted to me. So that was part of it.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, right. So when, when the opposite sex or whatever, someone finds you attractive, of course it boosts you. And then you try to figure out why are they attracted to me, and most of the time, let's be real, it's your physical looks, something about you caught their eye.
Or personality.
Personality.
Because you're very outgoing.
I am very outgoing.
Even for, right?
Right, yeah, okay. I'm very outgoing. So maybe that was part of it. And I do think that, I think through the years, though, I've had some, bad haircuts,
Your weight's fluctuated, you've said.
Yeah, but not to the extent where, it's...
but your body's changed.
Oh, of course, with the kids.
It's changed probably as you've gotten older for the better.
Absolutely.
Even after having children, it's better than probably before you even had children.
Correct.
As far as being in shape.
Right. But I think people need to understand, too, that I've never put a needle in my face.
Right.
I've never had Botox.
How about in your ass, steroids?
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You
never pop pills for steroids?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you were on test.
What?
I'm stupid. Go ahead. I'm stupid.
But but people need to, because people think, right? My friends that are, 20 years younger than me,
they're Botoxing. Well, I think that's the new norm, though, which is horrific.
It is.
Which you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't go
do
ahead.
whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, and that is part of what I'm saying. But I just want people to know that I have never done that to my face. I've never had any fillers, Botox, lifts. This.
Yeah.
I think the most I've done maybe for my face is get my eyebrows threaded or waxed.
Right.
That's really it.
That's that. Now, do you find it, because the unique thing about Ria, as far as your looks goes, that I see, and I think she likes this, is, as times changed now, depending on what environment she's in, a lot of people think she's one of them, which I've never seen that before.
What do you mean?
So, like, even if, say, we go to Kirkman, the men's clothing store, like the girl who's Indian thinks Ria's Indian. Okay.
It's so
right?
funny.
Then say we were just in Hawaii.
They think
think Ria's Hawaiian.
It's so weird.
I can't say that, what's interesting? I goof around with the Chinese sometimes here and there or whatever. We go to a Chinese restaurant we like, but they never hit Ria up for being Chinese. But they do know she's some type of Asian, so she does get treated differently. Yeah. But some people think she's Korean.
That's a weird
right?
one. Yeah.
Some think
Indonesian.
Indonesia. Some even think you're Spanish because you are Spanish.
Right, I have some Spanish. But yeah.
But if you're with her sisters, though, or at least one of her sisters I'm usually with, she's just Filipino.
Right.
You could just see it. Like a lot of people are, a lot of times, as you could look at them and go, wow, you're Italian, or you're Irish, or you're, whatever the case may be. Even Chinese, a lot of times you're like, okay, you're Chinese, you may be Japanese, or then, you know what I mean.
Right.
In your case, do you like getting all the attention? Because it's like, it's pretty wide range. Do you know what I mean? Like when people see you, they always kind of think, not just Asians either. Like I said, the Spanish, a lot of people ask me, what is she?
I think I like it because it keeps people guessing that I'm not that stereotype, right?
Right.
Number one, I think that's really fun and unique to maybe have people think differently. Even these two ladies last week in one of the stores I was in working, these two Filipino women were unsure that I was Filipino.
Right.
So that was kind of funny.
It's because your nose got smaller after you were with me.
Well, I know. My mom thinks I had surgery on my nose. I hate that. I have never done that. I'm like, no. Or extensions in my hair. How funny is that?
I know. When I met Ria, I'm not exaggerating. Her nose was wider. If you look at photos before and after, her mother thinks she had a nose job. I don't know if she was clothespinning her nose at night to pinch it together. She went from Michael Jackson to...
Stop it. That's
I'm just
extreme.
Kidding. That was extreme. To who's got the smallest nose? Like a little alien. I don't know what happened.
So funny.
And same with your hair. I swear to God, her mother will contest to this. Her hair went from being kind of thin...
And I had the bald spot.
Now she has not an afro, but I don't know what the hell happened. It looks like she's J-Lo. She got a
Yeah, J-Lo wears extensions.
Oh, okay. Well, your hair's pretty damn thick.
I know, but I love J-Lo.
So, anyways, this is the podcast we did today regarding, what else would you say? Anything else you got to wrap up? You know what's one thing I realized with you is you never beat yourself up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think mentally maybe I do a little bit.
Right, but physically you don't allow anything to...
No.
You're always, you're keeping your body as clean as possible, but you're using the right products and you take your time in the bathroom. You don't rush through regimen. Is that the word?
Yeah, but it doesn't take me long to get ready in the morning. I'm done in 30 minutes.
Right. Well, I
Even
think...
my hair.
Right. Well, there's a lot of strengths you have. For one, back to her skin, so she just... I think to match... You have just the best tone of skin, I'd say, being Filipino, but matching makeup, if you're too light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're almost too dark or too light or whatever I'm trying to say. But there are a lot of strengths having your skin tone when it comes to doing... And same with your color hair and your body, obviously. So you're not somebody who's trying on tons of different clothes because all the clothes, for the most part, look great on you, right?
Right. But I think you have to be positive and happy and jovial inside.
Right.
Because that is what makes you, I think, become and look more youthful, in my opinion.
Right.
I think it starts with your insides. And, maybe that is the water also, but I do think it's a state of mind big time. I think people have to change their mindsets and not keep thinking, oh my God, I'm 50.
Right. Or I'm ugly. Or, you don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, people beat themselves up. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I get it. Okay, I dye my hair. My hairdressers would cringe to know that I use the box of dye myself.
Right.
Because, whatever, sometimes those are just my cost-cutting ways. I do get my gray hairs, drives me crazy. But the big thing for me is that you really, number one, should be kind to other people. You should find happiness. If you're unhappy, that really, according to my mom and my dad, unhappiness and worry is what's going to age you. And I completely agree with that.
I do too.
Everything else that you do or that I do is icing on the cake, I think. That would be really a lot of it. So, if I see people, I can tell, that they're either stressed, unhappy. Yeah. Right? Because of the way that they appear.
Well, yeah. And I also think with aging, and I have friends, different ages of all they're afraid to age. So every year that goes by, instead of
embracing
it, because life's kind of funny like that. Everybody wants to live longer. But by living longer, you're going to deal with a lot more, right?
Right.
Which is more stress, maybe more misery, more happiness, whatever.
For sure.
But a lot of people get stress every year because they think at 30 or at 40 or at 50, whatever age, they're getting old.
Right.
Instead of looking at it as actually just life in general and enjoying every year or every decade, right?
Right.
So I think that's like what you're saying. It's very complicated for some people, but other people have no problem getting older. It's actually fun. Do you look at some people?
Right.
Isn't it interesting? They look forward to their birthday, someone like you. They look forward to enjoying their life as they're getting older.
Right.
We have other people that are actually miserable because they're getting older.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right? It's kind of the flip side. And that could be going on 30, 40, 50, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
They have a certain type of mindset that they should be in maybe a different position or and I understand sometimes people are aging a certain way that they don't want to age. And you can't escape your body. I talk about it all the time.
Right.
You could try to escape anything in your life. You are not escaping your body, so you have to learn. You have to accept who you are.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And you're going to get older. Right. Things are not going to always go perfect for you.
Gravity happens.
Yeah. You're going to go through injuries. You may go through illness.
Right.
Sickness.
My back. Look at my back. Right. That's, I think, what... makes me feel my age, really my back problems. But, I'm going to go deal with that, next year in 2020. But that would be all I have to say.
Well, I'd say one last thing is don't get caught up with being obsessed with being younger. Right. Where I think I'll give this to you. You're not obsessed with trying to look 30 when you're 50 or 40 when you're 50.
No.
As fortunate as you are with the way you look, it's not an obsession. With a lot of women, I'm going to say more than men, except for kind of men who have toupees and stuff, which is hysterical in itself, which is kind of outdated. But a lot of women trying to keep up with their daughters or their siblings, their younger coworkers.
Right.
Listen, move forward.
Yeah.
Like, be age. You can do whatever you want, but if you're heavily make-upped, or you're, and I get being obsessed with maybe working out to a certain degree, but there does come a point, are you helping yourself or hurting yourself? Just understand that you are going to age. Just age gracefully.
I would agree.
Right.
I think that you can, I hang out with, my besties are 30 and 20, or in 30s and their 20s. And I don't try to look their ages. I will definitely match our activity level, or our fun factors when we're together.
Right.
And I think that is what helps keep me youthful. So, but that's it.
And you also have like your best friend in Portland, right?
Right.
I mean, how comfortable is she in her own skin?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
And even when I met all your sorority sisters, those are a lot of beautiful women.
Right. But they enjoy life, and I think they treat themselves well. If you look at my group, I would say, you know what? They are some of the most healthy, grounded, happy,
right? Absolutely,
humble, intelligent women that I have known for many, many years. That I still I look up to. I think that they're. I think that is what that's so funny you bring that up, because a bunch of them just got together for Christmas, and they post a picture, and I look at them and I'm like, damn,
they're beautiful ladies.
You got ladies look fantastic,
but they look.
Yeah, and we
right.
Look, yeah,
I
they
hate
look
it.
right.
Nobody's, and I'd hate to say, living in California, and I've lived in Florida, and
no one's
I'm in New
Lycra
York.
Minis and
nobody's blowing their lips out, which you could do.
Yeah,
no
whatever.
one's over, hair extensions. No one's,
right.
You know what I'm saying. Overly, I guess you could say again, plastic surgery, which I get. There's nothing wrong with doing that if that makes you feel better. But I do think you have to sometimes realize when you're going too far, because it becomes an addiction. I think like anything else. Right. And I'm not here to, and that goes for men and women. Right. I don't, you know what I mean? Right. But being miserable because you're not keeping up with the youth. And I think I talk about this with a lot of men that are, a lot of my friends too, that lifted a lot of heavy weights for many, many years, including myself now. You don't realize the toll you're taking on your body, trying to kind of maybe keep up with your past instead of evolving and understand you may not be as strong as you were in your past, but sure as hell don't injure yourself trying to keep up with your past.
Right.
There's a lot of different things you could do to make yourself look and feel better, if that makes sense, I guess.
That's it. What does that guy say on The Mandalorian, the one that...
This is the way?
No.
I have spoken?
I have spoken.
How do I remember? He got shot down.
If people haven't watched this episode.
Oh, Jesus. I have not spoken.
I have spoken.
I know. I said I have not spoken.
I have spoken.
I'm not deleting it either. So I hope that was what do they call that in the film? How would I forget? I ruined it. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's all.
That's all I got for you. I got a YouTube channel out, and I've been putting a lot of things fitness related.
Yes.
A lot. And I've also been, in the last couple months, I've been putting up some cool videos if you like Italian foods, Italian neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. So I've been putting some of them up, some of my favorite coffee houses. I just went to a smoothie place called the Fountain of Youth Juice in Encinitas. Rhea, you've been there with me, right, honey? It's right next to Sister's Closet.
Yeah, we go there.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I don't know.
Delicious.
Anyway, so if you want to check that out, we're both on, well, she does my Instagram, so we're both on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. So if you want to leave a comment, disagree with us, agree with us, whatever the case may be. And that's all I got for you. Anything else, Rhea?
I have spoken.
And one quick thing, I'm going to tell you what's worked for me throughout my life. Not that people say I look youthful.
Gosh. Flintstones.
Listen, I got to get back on Flintstones.
I know, I got to buy you some Flintstones.
2 Flintstones, not one as an adult, because my doctor told me that. Oatmeal in the morning and orange juice. I never get sick. I'm telling you, this is the trick to life.
Knock on wood.
I'm going to be the guy who just vanishes, like in the what's that? Avengers. Like when I die, I just disappear. I'll just shatter.
It is true, the Flintstones.
The Flintstones, I'm telling you, they should send me them. But I went to my doctor, and he always wants my workout routines. He didn't see me for like 10 years. He's like, what are you taking?
Flintstones.
Because he's younger than me. He's like, I want to know your workout, your nutrition. This happened actually I broke a few ribs once flipping over the handlebars at San Diego. And the guy, we couldn't get to I didn't want to go to the ER, so my cousin took me to his chiropractor of all places. He did the same thing to me. But I told my real doctor, it's like, what are you on? I looked with a straight face. I said, at this time, I think I was with my daughters or whatever. I go, Flintstone vitamins. He almost had a laughing fit. He's like, that is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. He goes, no, what supplements are you taking at GNC? Are you on, creatine, whey, what proteins? I said, I try to fit in a smoothie or a juice a day. But I said, I'm all Flintstones, hardcore. And he's like,
but you have to tell people it's just the regular old school Flintstones.
Yeah.
It's not the ones that they have now, because they have different ones for the kids, right?
Right.
And my mom always gives me Flintstone vitamins coupons for Rich, so it cracks me. It's true.
With Flintstones.
Just stick with the regular ones.
My doctor said, how many do you take? I said 1. He goes, up it to 2. He says, you're an adult now.
I like the purple ones.
Anyways, I don't like any other vitamins, but
I know, but we did try.
If you want to hear things about my perspective on different nutrition and stuff, that's in a podcast, and I did a video on that as well. So I'll wrap it up. Oh, yeah, do you take anything else, Ria? What do you take vitamin-wise? Maybe you could give some insight on that. What do you take?
Just a good multivitamin. And hair and
every
nail.
day?
No, when I remember. I was good every day.
What are the aspirin you take?
I take ibuprofen for my back. That's it.
That's it?
I don't like I don't like a lot of prescriptions and all that stuff, so no.
I don't know what that is, but I'm telling you to swim. Swim your ass off. Right. Try to get in that damn sauna. Not you, I'm telling them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're not going to listen to me, but I'm telling you, people out there, if you could swim 2-3 times a week, I don't mean you have to go in there and kill yourself doing laps on top of the water. Maybe just go underwater, do some, simple strokes up and down, maybe even run in the water, get that buoyancy.
I do love to run in the water.
It'll help you with your, with your sleep. It's going to help with your balance. It's also going to help with your metabolism. So if there's anyone out there, the one thing I'd recommend more than anything is swim and then walk. Those are 2 things, most likely you have access to, especially walking. All right. That's it. We're going to wrap it up, our big mounts. All right. Take care. And if you're traveling, safe travels.